Comadre from RadioCrystalUSA.com, and I just want to tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do. So, La Super Comadre, my platform is all about bringing people on, special guests, who either do something for the community, who have done something for the community, who match up the pillars of what my show is about, which is about taking care of your heart and soul, which is about political engagement, which is about education. So every person that comes on can be a super comadre or a super compadre, someone that's out there doing something for the community. So I invite you all to listen and to watch every Tuesday when we record the show. But it also repeats on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning and at 10 o'clock at night on RadioCrystalUSA.com. And don't forget to give us a like. Adios. Hola, ¿cómo están todos? Es la Super Comadre Claudia of RadioCrystalUSA.com, and welcome. I know that it's been a while, but I'm slowly coming back and bringing on amazing guests who are talking about themselves, their mission, their journey, what it is they have to offer to the world, to the community. And I typically focus on people that are local, but sometimes I Zoom people in from San Antonio or from Austin or from wherever. And that's the beauty of being able to do this online. So welcome to La Super Comadre Claudia. I am here to elevate, to support, and to share. All right, so don't forget to like, follow, share us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or everywhere. So, all right, and I also want to give a quick shout out to our location sponsor, and I want to give a shout out to SDC Builds, who is always opening up the doors. They're out there creating, remodeling, commercial buildings, homes, interior, exterior. So you have any interior, exterior needs for your home, your commercial properties, call SDC Builds. Tony Garcia and family, they're there to support you, to guide you through the whole process. So I want to say thank you, Tony Garcia and SDC Builds, for always opening up your doors and making sure that we have the couch ready for my guests and to share their amazing missions and journeys and shares. All right, so what has been going on with La Super Comadre was, I'm a mom, and I want to say Happy Mother's Day for all of you that are listening and watching, and also because we wouldn't be sitting here next to each other without our amazing moms. So shout out to all las mamás. Feliz Dia de las Madres. Yo sé que ya pasó, but you know what? We're going to celebrate moms all the time, every day. Why not?
Happy Mother's Day.
I agree.
Happy belated.
Thank you. Yeah. So I want us to now, focus on my amazing two guests. So when you come on, I call it La Super Comadre Show because super meaning you're super, and comadre actually literally means co-mother. So, and compadre is like a co-father. Mm-hmm. So it's like people that come together to do things, to share things. And I always remember growing up as a kid and being shooed out of the kitchen because the aunties or the tias were always comadreando or talking and sharing about life, recipes, kids, their significant others. What
all
are
the fun subjects you mean?
Yes, and they would shoot you out. So I like to use the same platform to comadrear about amazing things, experiences, and journeys that could potentially touch someone or share something that someone may need.
Yeah.
So with that,
we call that grown people's business.
That's right. The grown folks.
Grown folks' business. There you go.
The grown folks are talking, so all the kids go outside and play in the rain. Yeah. Which, by the way, it is raining nicely out here.
It is beautiful.
So I wanted just to, now focus on my two guests today. So y'all are now officially Super Compadre Danny Norris and Super Comadre Janet Martel. So welcome.
Gracias.
De nada. So we're going to do it mostly in English, but sometimes we're going to throw in a little bit of, Spanish, a little bit of Spanglish. It's just, I give it that sazon, I guess you would say, a little bit of seasoning. Mm-hmm. But I want to start off with you, Danny.
Okay.
And I always like to weave the story with the people into my life, Radio Crystal USA life, and why and how did we end up here on my couch?
Okay.
So, so a little bit about you, and then we'll connect you.
Okay. So I'm Danny Norris. I am by day I work at the City Attorney's Office for the City of Houston. I mostly contracts and technology contracts. I'm a lawyer by day, so I do a lot of the technology contracts for the City of Houston. I also, if you wonder what the shirt says, it's Harris County Department of Education. Also, another hat that I wear is trustee for the Harris County Department of Education, which is the county school board meaning every independent school district you know that's in Harris County are independent of us. We're the original school district, founded 1889. I was actually the first African American board president of that, and 132 years before I became president. So I wear a few hats, and then I'm a father of two. I'm a family man, wife of soon to be 16 years, and father of two. They keep me busy a lot. The 2 seconds I have left between all the other hats I wear, they make sure that time is booked solid. So that's just a little bit of some of the hats I wear.
All right. Well, thank you for wearing another hat this evening.
Yes.
Which is to be here as a super compadre and making that time, because I know you guys are super busy. But thank you for being here today to share your story.
So was I supposed to say how?
Yeah. And how did we end up here? How did we connect?
So I am, along with these two wonderful ladies on both sides of me, am finishing up a program for a program called Leadership Houston. And we are all fellows of Class 41, the best class ever. So we are all finishing up. We have a graduation scheduled in a couple of weeks. So we met through that, and I specifically, you gals.
It's okay. You can say gals.
You gals probably had your own reasons, but one of my reasons was to be a little more deliberate about networking. I love to socialize. I think we're all fairly social.
Right.
All three of us, personality-wise, are fairly social.
We connected well.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Indeed.
Yes, we did.
So, I signed up to make sure I'm a little more deliberate about my networking, and I knew I would meet awesome folks, and it has not disappointed. So, and here I find myself sitting between two awesome ladies out here conquering the community and making things happen for all types of people of all types of industries. So, I actually was telling Claudia not too long ago. I was meeting, and when we were putting our shows together for our project, and I started talking about this meeting I had, and she said, "Wait a minute."
Wait,
like,
what?
She said, "Who are you talking about?" And she was like, "I work with her," and I was like, "Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course, I was told to connect with her through another mutual contact, but of course, she has great help, and great hands and help, and comadre.
And comadre, there you
and
go.
Comadre,
A vast
vast network.
Yes, all of the the things you bring. So I was like, of course. So I'm glad to see, how everybody's tied into the community in different ways. So I'm glad to be here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for the invite.
Awesome. Now, I want to weave it over. I'm going to send the ribbon to you, comadre.
Comadre, hola. So I love the fact that we have been able to connect in so many different things that we're doing for the community. But yes, I'm Jeanette Martel, and by day, as Danny says, I help people make smart money decisions. So my focus really is to helping them figure out what's the best lending program for buying a house. So there's a lot of different programs out there, and really my job is to make sure that when you work with me, they're getting something beyond just an interest rate, that they really are going to make this a home for their family and a decision that's going to help them, enjoy that house that they're buying. So that's what I do during the day, but I love doing that, and I think that work actually fulfills a lot of the things that I'm passionate about, which is financial literacy. I really love to help people understand money and make sure that they don't see it as this taboo kind of subject that maybe wasn't talked about, or if it was talked about, it was like, oh, we don't have enough, or that's not for us, or rich poor mentalities. So I want to change the conversation when it comes to money, and I want to make sure that especially people in our communities understand not only do we have to save money, but we have to make it grow and continue investing and protect the money. So there's many different ways to do that. So that kind of work leads me to a lot of community things that I'm involved with. So I also do a lot of other things, such as I'm the sponsorship director for the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. So try saying that really fast, like 3 times. NAREP. And through NAREP, I've been just so fortunate to meet a lot of other, people in my industry, real estate, that have those same kind of passions. So I really have enjoyed that, and I've thoroughly enjoyed being in Leadership Houston and getting to meet you. And I think we met
We
long
met
time
before.
ago.
So
I'm trying to think where.
I remember.
we actually
I know where we met.
Oh, I think I
so
remember
Leadership
now.
Houston is where us three of us kind of came together, and we're learning more about. I think for me, learning
Right.
more about myself, my place, and my talents, the treasures, the connections that I have to continue supporting. The community needs, right? But when I showed up, I'm like, wait a minute, I know this woman.
It's like, hi.
We met at a birthday party.
We did. I remember now very well.
Yes, and the birthday party was a fellow super comadre who's been on the show,
Yes.
Alicia. Vibes by Alicia, who's been on.
Yes, we love Alicia.
And we love Alicia.
Yeah,
Yes.
so much.
Great community person as well, has her own podcast, talks about life, talks about, just, women, I don't want to say issues, but women, because issues sounds like
Right.
there's something wrong with this, but
Just the interesting subjects that we want to discuss. That
Yes.
maybe sometimes people don't sit down and talk about. So,
exactly.
but yes, we met at her birthday party and we had so much fun. I forgot the name of it, but they had like specialty cocktails.
I remember, but we're not going to say it right now.
Okay.
But then I see you, I
Yeah.
meet you at Leadership Houston, and I see you, I'm like, I know her, and it just goes back to, it's almost like a testament to who you're around,
Right.
and it's like, okay, great minds or great ideas, and then with your heart, it's like all mixed together to do what is next in our life, right?
Right.
Whether it's we do it with our own communities or with our new community here, but I wanted to also talk a little bit about how has Leadership Houston, it's like a little plug for Leadership Houston, but how has Leadership Houston, changed you, or what did you bring to Leadership Houston, or what is something, and just a little bit about Leadership Houston, if you're listening, it's an organization that's all about developing people and connecting people, and then their mission is to make sure that we empower, enlighten, and engage. And then we have a class project where we all work together. And then there's class dates where we come together and there's different topics, and one Friday a month. So there's all kind. It's really intense. So in joining and becoming, I guess, nominated and going through this or this experience, what are you taking away from it? What has it done to you, and what did you bring to it? I guess it's like one of those transactional things.
Right. I'll let you go first.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Just throw me on the spot.
He's like,
So-
He's like ladies
Yeah.
first.
So I mean, like I said earlier, I definitely wanted to be deliberate about my network. So it definitely did that. Clearly, I'm here. I knew neither one of you. I didn't go to a birthday party and have any drinks. Gotta remember.
But now we can.
Yeah, we can now
we
for sure. We for sure can now. But in addition to that, so learning more about Houston. I mean, I think I know a good bit about Houston. I've been here 25 years, but I feel like I've learned even more being in this program. I also got a chance, like even with our class project, I think it's allowed me to explore more. I mean, I'm like I mentioned, I do education. I'm on the board of education, and this is a project that it exemplifies one of the things I was actually discussing with Dr. Moore when we met. So when I went to that, when Stephen and I were talking about, this is kind of an example of what community schools. This is the model I think more education programs need to be. They need to be extensions of the community and empower the community. That's what I feel like education is about. So I feel like this whole project and this whole experience is culminating in the what I believe is the future of Houston and the future of education and all those things. So I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to do my whatever, even to the point of if a freezer needs to be moved, I'm glad to do my little part that I can to make sure this project goes through and that the community, right down the street from here, is actually further empowered, because when we empower the community, we empower the future, we empower the next generation, and all of these things. So, and I'm for all of that. So I'm glad to be able to be a part of it. Glad to meet you all. I'm glad to see what comes forth from this project, and I'm looking forward to what's everybody's next step.
Yeah.
I know everybody like
everyone.
I feel like I'm like everybody's everybody's about, she's going to have like a kajillion clients and she's going to be flying. We're going to be like, what island are you on right now that we need to come visit you at?
I know.
And same. And then she's going to be like, yeah, I'm over there. We're having drinks right now, Dan. You need to fly over here.
We're celebrating. We're coming together to engage, empower, and excel.
Y comadreando más.
And comadrear más en compadrear. I want to come back to Leadership Houston in the project, because that's something I want to highlight again. At some point, we're going to weave it back. But for you, Janet, what is something that you brought, or what is something that you're taking away? Or was it transactional with Leadership Houston?
Well, I think that a mutual friend of ours introduced me to the idea of of Leadership Houston. I know, shout out to Daniel Sainz.
Yes, our super compadre Daniel Sainz.
Compadre.
Yes.
I know Daniel.
So Daniel and I went to school together, and he and I had run into each other at community events. So, but I didn't realize how much work he had been doing, and he didn't realize also the work that I had been doing. So in just our conversations and seeing him go through the program, he said, I nominated you. I think you should look into it. Yeah. Don't even think about it. Go and do it. And so, I often, like you said, it's so important for me to surround myself with people that I feel bring value, different kinds of value to me. Education, just learning what else I can do, or, finding a little bit more about myself, and maybe discovering a talent that I don't have that I should be, putting out there and in service to the community. So when he told me about it and I started researching Leadership Houston, I just found it fascinating, because I'm just curious and I want to know more. I always want to learn more. I want to understand how things work, who makes them work, what happens behind the closed door. I'm just that child. I've always been like, as a child, always wanted to find out more information, and I felt like this was a natural role for me to explore, because the clients that I work with deserve that kind of experience for me and that kind of knowledge for me, because I work with people that are coming to Houston from different backgrounds, from different industries, and what better way to understand my city that I love so much than to go behind the scenes and kind of know how healthcare and who makes those decisions and what new things are happening, or energy. And of course my favorite day personally was going to the Federal Reserve Bank and going inside the money. I know, I felt like J-Lo, even the wind was blowing.
When you walked in, like the fans were on. So a little bit, for those who are listening, this is new for you. So if you're just tuning in, this is La Super Comadre Claudia, RadioCrystalUSA.com, and we're talking about Leadership Houston. We're talking about this program that is about empowering, engaging, and enlightening ourselves and each other. And then part of our program requires us to do a class project together that is going to make a lasting impact. We're not coming in to save anybody. It's just about us coming together and connecting and supporting a part of Houston that may be working on something and just may need a little bit of support somehow. Part of our program also includes, like Jeanette said, is class days, and every class day has a different theme. Her favorite was the Federal Reserve. My favorite was the last one.
Oh, that was fun too.
Was the creativity one, where we had a chance to do some acting and some singing and poetry.
Just went into a little English.
I did. I a little singing and acting, a little bit of poetry. Yes. So
this is how she was acting during. That was the voice she was using as a part of the program. She broke into an old English accent.
Old English accent, because I don't even know where they comes from. It must be all the years of watching Harry Potter.
Oh my goodness, you are so amazing.
Well, so is that Latina?
Cheerio.
Let's carry on. So that was my favorite one. It talked about. And I'm a native Houstonian. I was born and raised here in Houston. There's not a lot of people that you meet that are born and raised here in Houston.
We're not.
So
well, you weren't born in Houston.
Y'all got here as fast as y'all could.
Yeah,
so 25 years ago.
I'm like, wait.
She was a baby.
I was a baby.
Like
I was
16 years ago.
I love sharing my
20
age.
years ago.
So, love sharing my age. So 40 years ago, actually. I was 6.
Gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And I lived here, right down the street. My dad worked at Rainbow Bread.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's amazing. I always love coming here. It grounds me.
It grounds you, and we
So
will be
many levels.
we'll be talking about our grounding situation here towards the end, because part of what I like to do, and I didn't talk about my day job. So this is what I do. I do this online radio show, and it's a podcast too. But my day job is to work with brain builders, where you met Dr. Keonta Moore, who created Brain Builders, and we are housed with the Hackett Center, the Hackett Center for Mental Health. And we're all about supporting the community, parents, teens in regards to turning policy into practice, and then weaving it into policy making, and gathering data with the programs that are out there that we're connected with. One of them, like being Brain Builders, that we're supporting moms, and it's free. We are powered, I always say powered, money, by Episcopal Health Foundation, by the PAL Foundation, and because of those generous grants and gifts, we're able to go into the community and provide either in-person mom sessions where we talk about developing language, taking care of yourself, building resilience, all those things that the kids need when they get to school.
Right.
All the things that the kids need when, moms need to feel empowered with their partner to buy a house, to learn about that. And then in the meantime, they're also, remembering, I got to put my phone down to connect to the little one. Because we're and that's part of what we're doing is going back to, like, I guess, old school. Like, do your silly songs, play outside in the rain. Don't worry about buying an expensive program. Just sit with the kid, interact, do those silly songs, and that it's gonna help build the brains and make all those bajillions connections that they need to be able to handle when they go to school as adults, when they find a partner or buy a house on their own or talk about money. So that's what we do with Brain Builders, and it's just so amazing how we got this ribbon and we're weaving each other. And I can only imagine, like you said, Danny, what's next for all of us.
Right.
So
and I was going to say, one of the things that they mentioned to me is Leadership Houston's going to completely change your life. And I'm like, okay. I've been in a lot of leadership programs. I've done so much, corporate leadership stuff. It's just another program. But I knew it was special, but I didn't realize that it really, truly is transformative, because I feel that the person that I was at the start of the program is now I feel like a completely different person, and I feel like I understand just so much more about myself and about the city, and of course the connections you build are just
astronomical,
I can't even
beyond
put it into words.
Because
it goes beyond just like what we do in our everyday life, but you build like really deep personal connections with people that bring out things that you didn't expect to bring out, maybe, or just shift your way of thinking. Or I consider myself someone that's open-minded, but I feel like it's humbled me in thinking like, oh wait, you actually need to expand your circle more, or you're thinking more, or you're what you're doing. So that's been very interesting to just kind of step back and take inventory of what I've enjoyed this last I guess 9 months or so.
What about for you, Danny? What's stepping back and you're looking now in the rear view mirror? We're about to finish. We got graduation coming up.
Right. I mean, it definitely has helped and made me think more about what impact I want to do, how do I want to move. It's been great, especially kind of meeting you all and seeing a little bit more into your worlds as well, because it's like, okay, well, this is, and that's why I've tried to go to as many events that we've had possible. So I'm like, so now I get to see this side of you, and I get to see this side of you, and I was like, okay, so I get to peek.
Thank you. I know you come to mind. So
absolutely. So I'm glad to be able to do so. It's allowed me to see more, like you said, expand my worldview a bit. It also, even, and then there's even little stuff like earlier I was at lunch and I saw Raquel, and I'm just like, she's sitting at the table right behind me. I think I was there for like 15 minutes before I realized, it's like, is that Raquel? I finally turned around, I was like, hey, so You start popping up on classmates, and
Yeah.
then I realized also there's a lot of people that have been through the program as well.
Yes.
It is a big.
The alumni group is amazing. Everyone, including our current mayor.
Yeah.
Right.
Mayor
Yeah.
Sylvester Turner
Yeah.
is part of a leadership, Houston alumni.
Yeah.
Um,
My boss is
Who's your boss?
the city attorney is a former leadership Houston.
you want to
So yeah, he's,
shout out?
yeah, Arturo Michelle, who's the current city attorney. He's my he's my boss's boss's boss. So he's like a couple levels up.
Yeah.
he runs the city attorney's office, and he's a leadership Houston.
Leadership
grad.
Houston alumni.
Uh-huh.
So we are literally, among giants. I always look at that. And one of my favorite quotes is, "We can only see furthers because we stand on the shoulders of giants." And now it's like we are the giants.
Yeah.
Now we're there to support and to share this with others that may need that opening or connection. So if you had a chance to speak to some folks that might be interested, and by the way, if you get a chance, if you're listening, if you're watching, go to leadershiphouston.org and become engaged through the website. And they do often have like some meetings where you can come on and you can join and you can see, is this something for you? Is this something that you would like to experience? Right. But if you had a chance to tell a group of people that are interested in potentially going through this experience, what is something that you would share with them? Either of y'all.
You go first this time.
First, break all the rules. What? No, I was kidding.
Yes, break all the rules.
Break all the rules.
I'm kidding. I think that if you're interested in doing this is not like any other program that, you feel like, oh, I guess I got to do this leadership program. No, this is something that you choose and they choose you.
Perfect.
So
yeah.
you have to be ready to put in the work, only because you're going to, you want to be true to yourself and you want to give yourself the opportunity to experience those days and be fully committed. So you're going to be shorting yourself basically if you're just in it just to be in it, and hey, it's another thing I've done.
Yeah.
I don't recommend you going into the program if you're not really willing to be open-minded and build those relationships and learn. I think that's the biggest thing that I would tell someone.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, in other words, you get out what you put in.
True. Yeah.
So, if you're going to do it, make sure you take it seriously. There is a commitment, so make sure you're able to do the commitment of the once a month. There's a couple of retreats, so just make sure you're able to do it, and you want to do it, because if you miss out, you really don't get the full benefit of the program. So I think you definitely want to definitely give it your all, and you will get a lot out. So I've tried to do like I said earlier, I try to do as much as possible, because it's like I actually like you guys. I'm sorry, you guys and gals that are part of the program. So it's actually great to see everybody. It's almost like it's almost like, well, dang, we need to make sure that we keep this going, keep this party going, because I want to keep seeing you all.
Yes.
And not just randomly at restaurants when I'm out.
Right.
For lunch. So yeah, it's been wonderful. I've loved the work that I've seen that we're doing collectively, and I'm looking forward to doing, like I said earlier, doing more things. Yeah. And making an impact on Houston in our different sectors, and then as we choose and come together. So yeah, looking forward. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about you?
For me, like for the thing that I am born and raised here in Houston, to me what I really loved, and there's a lot of things, but seeing, like you said, the behind the scenes, why Metro builds where they build, why the upcoming changes in NASA, the rebranding, like okay, like wow, that's interesting. We get a sneak peek into what's to come. Getting the chance to meet with people at the Federal Reserve, like what's the forecast going to look like for housing. So to be able to see all those different pieces that is what Houston is.
Right.
When you're a kid, you just show up. You get on a bus, you get to the school, you go to class, you graduate. But then I always had been curious, like, how do we know that you should build a certain, business complex in this part of town? Who is making those decisions?
Mm-hmm.
How do we know where is the money coming from to do XYZ project, and how do they know, and how do they get access to that?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's like being almost like in the room where it happens, the room where it happens. That whole Hamilton song.
Are we dancing at the
Yeah, room where it happens, the room where it happens. So like that song kept playing in my head.
It's true.
Other section or part of this is education. That's my background. I've been in education for almost 30 years. I'm not in a building anymore like I used to. Thank you. Which, by the way, Teacher Appreciation was last month, I think, or was it?
It was.
It was
last week.
Last week.
We're in May.
2 weeks ago, I think.
Was it last month?
It was like 2 weeks ago, I think, or a week and a half ago.
May is when we celebrated. I'm not too sure what week anymore because I'm not in the building, but you're right. But May is the Teacher Appreciation Month. We're just going to call it the whole month. But I remember what I've realized too, and not just being in Leadership Houston just kind of really opened my eyes on how much we live in silos, where education decisions and what's being done there, it's kind of a little bit behind as to what's being offered over here. Like, we got these new measures, these new exciting things and monies and programs, but yet we're still kind of working on in a system or in a school system that is still working on maybe something that was the thing 10 years ago.
Or 100 years ago.
Okay, you know what? 100 years ago. Okay, I'm just going to go 100 years. But I'm trying to be nice here. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow. So like where everyone lives, where, how that impacts the schools that the kids go to, the foods that are available in the markets and the connections, what do they have available to be able to have the best brain and bodies to go to the schools and handle the curriculum. Are we bringing in the best curriculum that's going to provide the opportunities, or what is it, or leave a school with the ability to handle what is here in our backyard?
Right.
In our backyard, we got so many things.
We do, and I think it was very eye-opening. Even though I love driving all over the city, and if there's food that I can discover, then I'm like that. That is my driver, but. But it was really interesting just to go and explore the different parts of Houston and see it from a different perspective. But like even learning, and I knew about food deserts, but actually putting the locations and actually seeing and going further deeper into it, understanding that, like you said, where we live might be very different than what somebody else is experiencing, and just understanding that makes, and being more aware of it helps us try to help them as well, and bring other like our community partners, and that's what we're doing with our project, and
empowering. And which I want to now get that ribbon and weave it into one of the biggest things of Leadership Houston, which is coming together to identify, what is something that could use our support, I guess, because we're not saving anyone. It's about empowering people to be able to do things once we're there and we get it started, and y'all take off with it.
Yeah, because we're not going to be there at the end.
No,
we're just here to set up the shop, and then it's up to the shop to run.
To run on its own. So brain builders. I'm going to weave it back to brain builders. The reason I ended up with Steven, who is a wraparound specialist. I want to shout out to Steven. I always butcher his last name. Steven Deutsch.
Deutsch,
did I say it right? Okay. Steven is an amazing leader, community person, wraparound specialist that is located at a local school in Houston ISD. It's Yolanda Black Navarro. Did I say it right?
Navarro.
I always
Navarro.
mess up the
Navarro. But yes,
Yolanda Black Navarro Middle School. And
it used to be Stonewall Jackson.
It used to be Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah, I was reminded of that at another. I was that's right. Yeah, it's definitely not a Stonewall Jackson kind of community.
No.
That's what it was called when I was. I lived in the neighborhood.
Stonewall Jackson. Yeah. Well, I went to Reagan High School.
Yeah.
Which is Heights.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
that's a whole nother show.
That is another show. But now it's Navarro.
Yes, and now it's Navarro.
I love that it honors the community.
Yes.
And
Yes.
And Daniel's mother's actually on the side of that.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
mural now. Yes.
With Gracie.
Yes.
Yes.
So many connections. So now our class project is supporting, and I want you guys to touch on it. My only thing is I just showed up because Representative Cristina Morales. I'm like, I went to her, amazing woman, leader. I'm like, hey, who can you help me figure out who to talk about brain builders? Go talk to Steven. Talk to Steven. Next thing you know, I'm at his school. You're like talking about brain builders. And then I'm like, what else you got here? He goes, well, I got this market. And I'm like, okay, let's talk to me about the market. And so he shared with me, and I'm like, well, let me take off this hat, brain builders, and put on the leadership. I got this amazing group of cohort, I have this cohort that I'm a part of. I can't promise you anything, but I'll just kind of share it, but I can't promise you anything. And that's how I am always a big firm believer of paths crossed for a reason.
Right.
I met Cristina Morales years ago during campaigning. I met you for drinks, for a birthday party. Then I met you through Leadership Houston, and now here we are, coming together to support a class project that is going to help with the food deserts.
Right.
That is going to bring the nutrition for the kids to be able to handle whatever they need to handle in life and in school.
Right.
So I just leave it over to you guys to just talk a little bit about the project. How has that been for you? As we move towards and talk about move towards this weekend. What is happening
Saturday.
this weekend?
3 days.
Come on, leave it over to you. Go for it.
Well, I'm excited because I have seen just so much work being put into it by all of us, and everyone's amount of work is what's making this whole project a success. So the part that I've been involved with, it's been so rewarding to see the community partners come together and really make sure that they're understanding our mission and they are buying into what we want to do with the schools and supporting them. And we've seen so much they're happy to help out. So I think one of the things that what I was most excited to see that was something that I think you and actually Conchita Reyes helped coordinate was the meeting between Goya and Raquel. And if that meeting was such a pivotal moment because it brought so much food and reassurance that they're going to continue to fund the project that we're putting so much passion and love into. So, but not only that, Goya is what defines the culture and the people that live in the neighborhood. So it really, to me, signified, getting with the right community partners that understand the people they serve and have the things that they are going to use to, have that healthy, balanced meal and build their brains and help them learn every day. But as far as this weekend is concerned, I know that we all put,
all
built
of
shells,
y'all, everyone.
did all kinds of fun
talk
stuff.
about that. This was blood, sweat, and tears. You mentioned a freezer earlier. So I want to go back to your freezer story for this class project.
So we're putting things together. We're putting shelves together. We're moving fridges and freezers into that space to make sure that it is able to keep cold food and keep canned foods, and able to make sure that we can actually feed the community. And to your point, I think one of our classmates even mentioned, he said that, this really touches him specifically. He said, I had to go to these centers when I was a kid. And he was like, this is like, I understand the impact it has on how I am today. So it kind of comes full circle how that we are doing this very specific project to actually empower the community to make sure that we have more people that are able to come out and able to literally feed the community so that they're able to go out and move mountains and see them in the next 20, 30 years and make it move. So that's
doing something.
Absolutely. So but I think Claudia was very she was very nonchalant about it, but yes, she's the reason that this project. I think so. She probably won't say it, so I want to make sure we pointed that out. She just kind of threw it out there. I had to switch hats. No. The project that we're all 40
Right.
something of us are a part of, and that's empowering this community is thanks to very fabulous and very
Comadre
our comadre Claudia, and we are very gracious. We are very happy that you are able to help. I think the community should know that, and anybody who's watching this should know that. This is thanks to Claudia, and I appreciate you being able to identify the need and help us make this happen. So
I'm thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm just gonna
Yay.
accept the compliment because I'm the kind of person I like to highlight other people.
Well,
so I do too.
But it is okay to
Yes.
talk
Yeah.
about the things that
Yeah.
we work on. It's and
Definitely.
you were very important to making this happen, and the rest is you were able to put us in, show us the idea. And your
Everyone
passion for it
just-
is what won us over at the end of the day.
And it's been an amazing, crazy, challenging, fun ride, and just to see what that Stephen and what is possibly going through his mind, because when he showed me the classroom, it was literally a classroom with some shelves, and he's like, I'm like, what's your dream? He's like, what do you envision this place to look like? I want it to look like a store. I want it to make it nice. I don't want it so that I want it when people walk in, when the kids walk in, it looks like inviting. And I go, okay, all right. I like to put flowers on stuff, so let's see what I could do. so then I thought, and even then, everyone in our leadership Houston class, because we were challenged, we were charged with bringing something, and we all came together during our retreat, and everybody had amazing ideas, But I am a very quiet in the back, it was at times and I don't know about you, but for me, I had to practice a lot to be able to be open and confident. This is something that I had to develop, and there were so many people along the way that helped me to be able to express and to say and to be okay. Hey, it's great. If it's not, it's all right.
Right.
And I remember hearing so many amazing things. I mean, everything from a Connex box with food and solar powered, with food being stored from a garden, and
our women's shelter.
The Hawk
Yeah.
Hawk Center was even mentioned, how to go in there and beautify it and give it I think spruce up the kids area.
Right.
To building a whole new building. Let's take Latino, a learning center, and just give it let's change it up and spruce it up. I mean, so many amazing ideas that everybody came to the table with.
Right.
And that's it. And all we can do is just see what can we do, what can we bring together, and whichever idea was going to be amazing.
But
Either
you
way.
know what? When you describe all the different options that were presented, I feel they all tie in together, because it's all of them have to do with the younger generation and building, some sort of leadership or something that will help them have that glimmer of hope and continue to, keep pushing through. I feel like they all they all kind of coincided in that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why we were all so excited, because I think this one kind of put them all together.
Yeah.
All the ideas of beautifying it, making sure they have access to good
food,
healthy food,
and
then helping them build themselves up. So
exactly.
that was interesting.
Exactly. So it's been beautiful. So if anyone is out there listening, and if you are wanting to join, like Jeanette said, and like you said too, Danny, and becoming involved in this, it's a commitment. And you take out what you bring is what you're going to come back with, but you're also going to expand your network, and you're going to meet so many amazing people, and we all are on this. I always feel like every time we come together, the room is so electric. I don't know if you feel it, but I feel it.
Absolutely.
There's such an electricity when we come together. And even if we're just sitting there listening, you can still feel the vibration. I do, of the people, and how intense, but in a good way, that we are. And because we all come from our day job, our quote unquote, and we all have that passion. And now when you bring in all these passionate people together, it's just so amazing.
And we all come from so many different backgrounds and industries, so we all just. But it's like a big family. I
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I miss y'all.
I know. We can't leave it like that.
No, I know.
We are, if you are available on May the 20th, this Saturday, stop by Yolanda Black Navarro Middle School. Stop by and get a chance to see the leading leopard market. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of letters in there. There's a lot of words in the name. But it's like a makeover. So come on down. You're more than welcome to join in the festivities. We're going to have just the unveiling of it. And then like it was said here, the goal is for the kids to be able to have the access to food. The Houston Food Bank is running low, which is why this is so essential that connection was made. And actually, it was Daniel Sainz and Conchita Reyes and all that. My name got thrown in there, but I'm like, I'm just here. Y'all talk to them.
No, but I know Conchita does so much in the community.
Does so much.
Like Daniel, of course, and I feel like it runs in their family.
Oh my gosh, they're synonymous with that.
They're just that beautiful. Those beautiful souls that really care about the community, especially in here. So that was amazing that they were able to do that for us.
And just a little bit of history of this, of who the person in the school is named after. Yolanda Black Navarro was an amazing leader woman who would give literally the shoes, the clothes off her back if you needed something, if you needed guidance, if you needed support with starting your business, with getting your taxes made, kids that needed shoes. Whatever was needed in the community, Yolanda was there to step up and to do things. And so the school being named after her, exactly what the school is still doing is stepping up and bringing in, what needs to be done to support the kids in their futures.
I'd say just a little bit better than Stonewall Jackson as far as.
A lot better.
Yeah, a whole lot
better.
But she was a comadre,
Yolanda was a comadre. She was comadreando and making sure that things got done, and she put herself out there, and I think that's what Leadership Houston's about.
Right.
It's for us to always with be humble, but put ourselves out there and always think, okay, what is it that we need to do? What needs to be done to continue enlightening, engaging, and empowering? Right. And that's what Leadership Houston's about. If you go to our go to the website. I say our website. Go to leadershiphouston.org. Get a chance to know what it's about. Read about it. There's Claudia is one of the amazing leaders. What's her? Gonzalez. I was saying Rodriguez. I know a lot of Claudias. Claudia Gonzalez is the one that keeps us whips us in shape. Make sure that we are showing up and doing the things that we need to do. But all their information is on there. So reach out to leadershiphouston.org. Get a chance to know it. Connect with them. Go to their info sessions. I think they have some on Zoom. Now they have them in person. Come on out May 20th. We're going to get started at 10 o'clock at Yolanda Black Navarro Middle School. We're going to be inside the cafeteria, so don't worry. We're not going to be outside. It won't be hot. But I also want to give a shout out to one of my Hey Comadre podcasts. Comadres that we get together and do another podcast. Her name is Ilsa Garcia. Ilsa Garcia was class 40. Ilsa Garcia was the one that nominated me.
Oh, not the best class ever. I'm sorry.
No. Just because class 41 is the best class ever. So
no, she's amazing.
But Ilsa Garcia, who is part of the Hey Comadre podcast here on RadioCrystalUSA.com, she's the one that when she went through it, I got a chance to see it up firsthand. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? She goes, oh my God, you're gonna love it. And then that she nominated me, and it was such an honor, because when you are nominated, that it says a lot by the person about you, and then the person who's nominating you. That's a lot of speaking on their behalf. And also there is a cost for this. So, check with work, get some sponsors, and line it up, because there is a charge for this. But where there's a will, there's a way.
Right. And it's an investment in yourself. So definitely
think about that as an investment.
Absolutely.
So final words as we close up. Ooh.
I'm glad I'm in the presence of greatness, always. But I'm very happy to be here. I'm glad to have met you all. I'm looking forward to doing more and great things in the community. And I am looking forward to anybody else that is interested in coming to Navarro. If you come on Saturday, I look forward to seeing you there as well. So yes, all of that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Final words. I think I'm most excited about just all the different things that I know we will continue to do and the growth that has happened with each one of us. And I'm excited to be your cheerleader.
And we're yours.
I know. I genuinely love seeing my friends that I consider you guys my friends continue to do amazing things. So I just seeing you succeed makes me smile. It makes me happy because I know that means all of us are doing better.
Right.
So like Danny said, I'd love to meet you on Saturday if you come out. Maybe we can drop the link to so that they can RSVP. Only because I'm in charge of some of those things. Want to make sure we get a head count. So I could, we can celebrate and just end our best class ever in the best way possible.
Yes. And I just want to close up too with a few words like ground yourself, take care of yourself, and if you see something that needs to get done or you need to speak on someone's behalf, do it, because you never know what those words could mean, what help could come, or how you can empower someone. So speaking of grounding ourselves, we actually took our shoes off. We want to do a shoe. We're like, woo! I am really in touch with nature.
Each other.
We really love each other. That's how we came in. I had my shoes off. Next thing you know, Janet
I love being barefoot, so I'm taking them off.
And
I felt left out, so I was like, I want my feet to breathe too, so I let my feet breathe. My feet have been breathing the whole time.
We've been very happy.
We have been. I love this. So, so speaking of breathing, just breathe, inhale, exhale, take time for yourself before you, set off in the world and take care of everything else and everyone else. Take care of yourself first. So, La Super Comadre Claudia, we repeat the show every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning and again at 10 o'clock at night. And don't forget to like, share, connect with us on Facebook, on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. You can always go back and watch us there. Go to Twitter. We're on Instagram. And if you'd like to sponsor a show, please let us know. We can get you your credit card information, and we can go ahead and we talk about your business, and we'll highlight it during the podcast and the show here with RadioCrystalUSA.com. All right, so this is us. See you later. Hasta la otra.
Adios.
Tan tan.
Adios.
Let's see. Hello. Are we done? Oh my God, we didn't have a train at all.
Until now.
Yeah.